When two people lean in for a kiss, most of the world sees something simple: a moment of affection, a brief exchange of warmth, a sign of love, trust, attraction, or passion. But beneath that human softness lies a hidden universe, one that very few of us ever think about. Every kiss is not just a meeting of lips, it is a meeting of ecosystems. Every human mouth is a living rainforest of microscopic activity, buzzing with trillions of bacteria, fungi, viruses, and microbial species that quietly coexist with us every moment of our lives. And when two mouths touch, those worlds collide. Scientists have long known that the human body is not just human. We are walking, breathing superorganisms made up of more microbial cells than human cells. Our skin, gut, and mouth are home to thriving microbial communities. But no region of the body demonstrates the intimacy of microbial sharing as dramatically as the mouth. A single 10-second kiss can transfer tens of millions of bacteria, sometimes more, trading microscopic identities in a way that goes far beyond romance. This story begins with couples from everyday life, people who never imagined that their love lives would end up inside a laboratory. These couples were asked to participate in an unusual experiment to allow scientists to study what happens inside the mouth when partners kiss, how the bacterial composition shifts, how it stabilizes, and how it merges over time. Couples of different ages, lengths of relationships, habits, and lifestyles entered the experiment with a mix of amusement and curiosity. Many laughed about the idea of their saliva being analyzed. Some were shy, some were excited, but all of them stepped into the study as ordinary. People in love and left understanding. They were also carriers and exchangers of vast microbial universes. When the testing began, each couple reported their daily kissing habits. Some kissed only occasionally, maybe once or twice a day. Others described themselves as frequent kissers, 5 times, 10 times, sometimes 20 or more. And then there were the pairs who joked that they kiss so often that they lose count. After collecting self-reported behavior, researchers took saliva swabs from each partner at 2 different times, before and after kissing. These samples were then carried into high-tech labs equipped with genomic sequencing, tools that could break down microbial DNA and identify what species were present and in what ratios. One detail that surprised even the researchers was how dynamic and ever-changing the oral microbiome is. It is shaped by diet, hygiene, stress, sleep, hormones, the environment, and even the time of day. But among all these influences, kissing emerged as one of the most powerful forces, capable of rapidly shifting the bacterial landscape inside the mouth. Partners who kissed frequently had microbiomes that looked nearly identical, as though 2 separate forests had begun sharing the same species of trees, plants, scents, and soil. In couples who kissed rarely, the microbial differences remained large. The bacterial population stayed unique, shaped by their individual habits and immunological histories. But in couples who kissed often, particularly those reporting around 9 or more kisses a day, the transformation was dramatic. Their microbiomes began blending, stabilizing into similar patterns. The researchers realized they weren't simply seeing bacteria jumping from one person to another. They were witnessing the merging of microbial identities. These findings became even more intriguing when the scientists began tracking how long the transferred bacteria stayed. Contrary to what many might assume, the new bacteria introduced through a kiss don't vanish instantly. Some survive for minutes, some for hours, and some take root permanently. The human mouth is constantly adapting to whatever enters it, whether food particles, air, toothbrush bristles, or the presence of another person's microbiota. Some microbes die immediately because they can't survive the new environment. Others hold on, multiply, compete, and sometimes thrive. The idea that a kiss can introduce new microbes which integrate into your body's ecosystem may sound startling, maybe even unsettling, but the truth is that human beings have always relied on microbial exchange. Our immune systems evolved not to avoid microbes, but to learn from them, negotiate with them, and find balance. Every shared meal, every touch, every breath in a crowded room introduces new microbes, but a kiss does it with exceptional intensity. Couples with long-term emotional bonds tend to share more than just kisses. They share food, utensils, living spaces, sleeping spaces, and daily routines. All of these factors contribute to the blending of microbiomes. Over months and years, it becomes difficult to tell where one partner's microbiome ends and the other begins. The body begins recognizing the partner's microbial signatures as familiar, not foreign. In a way, the immune system develops a kind of microbial memory of the person you love. This has real biological value. Exposure to your partner's microbes may help your immune system strengthen itself, adapt to new environmental pressures, and maintain microbial diversity. Diversity is a key element of health. Microbiomes with diverse species tend to be more resilient, more adaptive, and more capable of fighting harmful pathogens. When partners exchange microbes regularly, they may be indirectly training each other's immune systems, offering new species to enrich their microbial ecosystems, and creating a stable shared microbial environment at home. But the story doesn't end with long-term couples. Even short-term interactions, first kisses, early dating, experimentation, carry their own microbial significance. When two strangers kiss for the first time, their oral microbiomes collide dramatically. Microbial signatures that have never encountered each other suddenly meet. Some vanish immediately, others clash, others blend. This microbial shock is brief but intense, and it's not just about bacteria. The mouth contains fungi, tiny amounts of viruses, and even rare microbes that remain dormant until the right conditions appear. Kissing introduces new variables into this ecosystem. The mouth responds by activating enzymes, stimulating saliva production, adjusting pH levels, and making immunological calculations at lightning speed. Despite all this invisible chaos, the human body handles it effortlessly. Most people never notice any change after kissing someone new. The complexity of the oral microbiome is so balanced, so self-regulating, that the system absorbs microbial surprises without major disruption. The saliva contains powerful molecules that break down harmful invaders, while friendly bacteria dominate the ecological landscape, keeping the population stable. There is also a psychological and evolutionary layer to all of this. Humans have always used kissing as a way to assess potential partners, emotionally, socially, and biologically. Long before scientific instruments existed, the human brain could detect subtle chemical cues through taste and smell. These cues reveal health, genetic compatibility, stress levels, hormonal signals, and more. A kiss can trigger a flood of information, much of it processed unconsciously. The exchange of microbes might be part of this instinctive evaluation. In prehistoric times, microbial exposure played an even greater role in survival. Living in close quarters, sharing food, raising children, and forming tribes required members to have compatible microbiomes. The more aligned the microbial ecosystems, the lower the risk of infections spreading uncontrollably within the group. Kissing could have helped accelerate this microbial alignment. Humans who kissed, shared, and adapted together may have enjoyed stronger communal resilience. Modern life is different, but the biology remains. Couples who live together continue to blend their microbial worlds. Their toothbrushes often end up with similar bacterial profiles. Their pillows and bedsheets carry a mixture of their skin microbiomes. Their homes develop a microbial signature, unique to them, something so distinct that forensic scientists can often identify which couple lives in which house based purely on the microbial samples from objects inside. But among all these shared environments, kissing remains the most intimate and rapid mechanism for microbial exchange. A 10-second kiss is enough to transfer millions of bacteria, more than a handshake, shared cup, or even sharing food. The act of kissing floods the mouth with new information, stimulating sensory pathways, immune responses, and emotional centers in the brain. Couples who kiss frequently often report feeling more bonded, calmer, and more connected. The biological explanation may involve a mix of hormones such as oxytocin and dopamine, but the microbial exchange may also contribute indirectly by providing familiarity, stability, and physiological comfort. Humans subconsciously enjoy predictable, microbial environments. When your partner's microbes become familiar, your body may experience subtle signals of safety and belonging. Interestingly, not all bacteria shared through kissing are beneficial. Some can be opportunistic, waiting for weakened immune defenses. But in most healthy individuals, the immune system neutralizes threats before any symptoms appear. Regular exposure to a partner's microbes may even help prevent infections over time, because your immune system learns to recognize and manage them. Imagine two partners beginning their relationship from completely different backgrounds, different diets, climates, cultures, hygiene habits. Their mouths host different microbial populations shaped by years of isolated development. When they enter a relationship, their bodies begin the slow dance of microbial negotiation. Over time, their microbiomes find a middle ground. This negotiation happens silently. It doesn't require effort. It doesn't require awareness. It's simply biology interacting with biology. And it reinforces the idea that love is not just emotional, it is physiological. Every kiss, every shared experience changes the internal fabric of who we are. Some people worry about bacteria in kisses, but the truth is far more romantic than frightening. Shared microbes rarely cause harm. Instead, they symbolize a deep exchange of identity. When you kiss someone regularly, you are letting your body adapt to theirs. You are allowing your ecosystems to intertwine. You are accepting part of their biological story and contributing part of your own. It transforms the simple act of kissing into something profound. Behind every kiss is a cascade of biochemical events, a transfer of microscopic life, a synchronization of ecosystems, an intimate handshake between the invisible worlds living inside each person. As the couples in the study finished their participation, many of them left with a newfound appreciation for what happens when their lips touch. What had once been an everyday gesture now carried deeper meaning. They understood that every kiss was a bridge, an exchange, emerging a biological dialogue. Whether gentle or passionate, brief or lingering, every kiss transmitted millions of organisms and shaped the future of their shared microbiome. And in that realization lies a remarkable truth. Humans do not love with their hearts alone. We love with our chemistry, with our microbes, with every microscopic thread woven into our biology. Every kiss leaves a trace that lingers inside us, sometimes for minutes, sometimes for hours, sometimes for life. In a world obsessed with digital communication, where so much of our connection is mediated through screens, the act of kissing remains profoundly physical. It is one of the rare human experiences that technology cannot replicate. A kiss is warm, alive, and biologically rich. It reveals more about two people than any conversation ever could. Whether it is the first kiss that sparks a new love story, or the 1,000th kiss shared between lifelong partners, the impact is always deeper than it seems. Kissing strengthens emotional bonds, synchronizes biological rhythms, and shapes microbial landscapes. It is an intimate collaboration between love and biology, emotion and evolution, human behavior and hidden ecosystems. So the next time two people kiss, whether softly in the quiet of morning, passionately in the heat of emotion, or playfully in the middle of everyday life, they are also sharing something extraordinary. An entire microscopic universe, living, evolving, and intertwining in ways that science is only beginning to understand. In that universe, intimacy becomes more than a feeling. It becomes a biological truth. Two people, in the act of kissing, momentarily become one ecosystem, joined by millions of invisible travelers who carry with them the silent story of connection.